attention. That's how I feel all the time now. I don't know if it's because I move within very particular circles, but almost everyone I know is going through an identity crisis, mostly fueled by depression. Of course, it's very hard to tell if depression comes from a chemical imbalance in the brain, or simply if it's due to the fact that you have an internet connection. Recently, I updated my internet service provider. I now have fiber. If anything, it has optimized my depression. It is quicker. It is better. It is more efficient than ever. When I wake up in the mornings, I feel a lot like the insect from Kafka's Metamorphosis with an iPhone. Of course, the insect from Kafka's Metamorphosis was not using his iPhone to Google the carbon footprint of a panic attack. Which is terrible. When you have a panic attack, when you cry, you hyperventilate, you generate more CO2. It's terrible for the environment. If you wanted something else to be sad about. But it is very true that our generation is facing unprecedented challenges economically and ecologically. I read a very troubling statistic recently. In a study published this year by University College London, it was established that 85% of millennials will never be able to afford to buy a padded cell. They are doomed to rent a room in an asylum. Renting forever. And it is so weird, isn't it, that millennials are fighting so hard to save the environment, considering they will never be able to afford to live in it. Of course, this has led to some positive attitudes, more ethical, more environmentally conscious. My girlfriend is a perfect example of this. 2 years ago, she became vegetarian. She stopped eating meat. A year ago, she became vegan. She stopped eating cheese. A few months ago, with the latest climate report, she just stopped eating. 2 weeks ago, she just stopped. But she is indeed one of the most environmentally conscious people I know. She doesn't use plastic. She fights fast fashion by crocheting her own clothes out of soybeans and tofu. It tastes just like the real thing, I swear. But I think you can take crocheting your own clothes a little too far. I don't believe you should crochet condoms. It's just not effective. Or you can't crochet an abortion pill either. Speaking from experience. But the environmental crisis, just like the pandemic, has just punished the very poor. A lot of people lost their jobs, and that brought on a lot of mental issues. We identify ourselves with our jobs. I am what I do. If I do nothing, I am nothing. The pandemic and the loss of jobs really brought on so much depression. I know it hit me personally at the beginning of the pandemic, and this is hard to talk about, but I actually lost my butler. It's been very hard on the family. We have to brush our own teeth now, just like you. But there were some good things. He was actually under a contract as an independent contractor, so we didn't have to pay him anything, just let him go like that. But there have been some losses. I lost a very good friend due to COVID. I blocked him on Facebook. Anti-vaxxer. It happens. And against this whole panorama of anxiety and depression, psychologists can give you very little good advice. It's mostly socialize, exercise. What you want is an exorcism. But I've been really trying to do healthy living. I have culturally appropriated yoga, trying just to get a little bit more. I'm really trying to get my 10 daily servings of fruits and pesticides. And recently I decided to start going to a therapist. The problem is that I live in France, and I really did not want to do it in French. I can think of nothing as traumatic as doing therapy in French. You would need therapy to get back. I have a very specific image of how that would be like. You go into the room, you sit on the elongated Freudian couch, and and you start pouring your heart out, you say, "Je suis triste." And the psychologist, using all his training, he will just say, "Monsieur is pronounced je."